The last couple of months have been really special for Hardik Pandya. His career was at the crossroads when he suffered that back injury. There were questions on whether he could bowl, whether he could come back into the Indian cricket team. There were question marks on whether Hardik Pandya will now replicate his successes that he had prior to the injury. But in the last couple of months, life has been very good for Hardik Pandya. Under his captaincy, he led the Gujarat Titans to a magnificent IPL title. His man management skills were simply fantastic. His captaincy was top notch. No one had given Gujarat a chance, even before the tournament started. But Hardik Pandya had the belief. And that is why his captaincy allowed Gujarat to win. He has come back to the Indian cricket team also. And in the first T20 against South Africa, he showed his worth, smashing 31, big sixes and power hitting. Heading into the next 4-5 months, Hardik Pandya is going to be a vital cog in the Indian cricket team. A bowler who can change the course of the match, a batter who is one of the best finishers India has. If Hardik Pandya can replicate his finishing abilities as well as perform well with the ball, then he will be the X factor that India need heading into the ICC World T20 in 2022. Recently, Hardik Pandya opened up in a very candid chat with the official website of the BCCI. In that, he had some very telling observations in that. During the course of the interview, Hardik Pandya really opened up, and from the heart, he spoke of the struggles in his life as well as about Gujarat Titans as well as about the Indian cricket team. Now, there are some snippets in this interview which have really stood out about our Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya, when he was asked about the IPL journey, Gujarat Titans, there is one particular thing in which he mentioned, the battles which I won against my own self. You have to understand what was the backdrop of those quotes when he started out. Hardik Pandya was injured. Everybody thought that he will never be able to bowl. There were question marks on whether he can make it to the Indian team just as a pure batsman. Heading into IPL 2022, Hardik Pandya's association with Mumbai Indians ended. New team, appointed as the captain, into the realm of the unknown, plus injuries, 7-8 months out of action, inconsistently appearing in the Indian cricket team. What do you do? Those were the battles that Hardik Pandya had spoken about. And in this entire transcription, he simply said, often in the IPL, you saw that Hardik Pandya was controlled in his emotions. He didn't celebrate too extravagantly. Even when he held the IPL trophy, he celebrated but with maturity. There was no over-the-top celebration. There was no over-the-top sadness. But this is where he revealed the thing. It was more about the battles which I won against my own self and a lot of other things. Winning IPL, more than anything else for us, qualifying to the playoffs was a big deal because a lot of people doubted us even before we started. Questions were raised. A lot of things were said for me when I made a comeback. For me, it was never about giving them the answers. Simply put, as I had mentioned, the combination of injury, uncertainty whether Hardik Pandya will ever come back to the Indian cricket team, leading a new franchisee in an IPL which had expanded to 10 teams, those were the battles that he fought, and he came out on top in this. Pandya's sacrifices. No one knows what I went through during those 6 months. Now, here is a telltale of what Hardik Pandya really suffered. The sacrifices that he has put in to at least come back in the reckoning and be India's X factor is truly inspiring. Perhaps this quote, no one knows what I went through during those 6 months, indeed gives a picture. A lot of us are often guilty that we speculate about Hardik Pandya's attitude, whether he is really committed to the cause. Well, he has dispelled that notion, and in this interview, he has pointed out what he went through. Just for example, in this interview, in the snippet, he said, I used to get up at 5 in the morning to ensure that I trained. Second time, if not at 5 o'clock, he would get up at 4 a.m. and train. For 4 months, he slept at 9:30 a.m. All other life after cricket, he would sacrifice that. Simply put, during the IPL, he had a strict fitness regime. He would train, he would ensure that his body was in total shape. And it was the battle that I fought before I played the IPL. A lot of sacrifices have been made. So, Hardik Pandya, ever since the ICC World T20, he didn't play any form of cricket for 6 months. Prior to that, he did not bowl for close to 2 years because after that injury in the Asia Cup, his lower back was really giving him problems. Whether Hardik Pandya would touch 140 plus, that was also an issue. But in the IPL, he did it. With the bat, he showed maturity. In the final, he bowled a brilliant game-changing spell that ensured Gujarat Titans won the IPL title. So, we all tend to think that what must be a sport, what a sportsman must be undergoing. Well, 6 months, Hardik Pandya maintained a very, very tight fitness regime to ensure that he's back. Now, what is Hardik Pandya's role? Many people are keeping one eye on the ICC World T20, but the preparation for that begins from the India versus South Africa series, which is currently going on. Hardik Pandya hit 31, he was coming lower down the order. So, in this interview, he has given his role clear cut. He won't be batting higher up the order. There will be no captaincy burden of him. So, these are two very, very important things that Hardik Pandya has been given. The brief has been given very clear to Hardik Pandya. Will be guiding through the innings. So, Hardik Pandya might not play the sheet anchor role. Plain, simple, if he comes out, whatever situation, he will go bang bang. That is the Hardik Pandya that he was known for. He ended it with that. So, the brief is pretty clear. Hardik Pandya will not be batting up the order. Anyway, in the playing 11 for the ICC World T20, Pandya had no chance of batting up the order. Because your top order was going to be KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Suryakumar Yadav. After that, you would get it with Pant or Hardik Pandya, interchange with 5 and 6, then Ravindra Jadeja. So, basically, Hardik Pandya now will be your designated finisher. Even Rahul Dravid had very clear roles about what Hardik Pandya was going to do for the South Africa series as well. So, Hardik Pandya in a nutshell has really opened up. And whether there is a thing, is it club versus country? Well, there is one very important point that he mentioned. Playing for the country has always been special. It gives me immense pleasure coming back after a long break. Country has always been important because the club versus country debate is not so prevalent in India as it is in England and the West Indies. So, Hardik Pandya is determined to give it his all. It starts from South Africa. If he maintains his fitness, then Hardik will be your X factor in the ICC World T20 in Australia. Thank you so much, folks, for listening to this video. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I am Siddharth Vishwanathan and I will be back with more such analysis in the coming days. Thank you.